From 2014 to 2021, Mercedes went on an unprecedented run of dominance. Starting in 2014, they absolutely aced the new hybrid regulations, sweeping both championships by a long distance. Then in 2015, they dominated again, with virtually the same results as the last year, winning both championships. And then next year, winning 19 out of 21 races, winning both championships with Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg at the helm. And even in 2017, when the F1 changed the regulations, Mercedes were on top of it and were able to figure it out from day one, produce an absolute beast, and crush Ferrari in the standings. In 2018, they fell behind Ferrari at the start because of the new engine power for Ferrari, but they picked it up, capitalized on Ferrari's mistakes, and won both championships once again. 2019 was a pretty easy year for them. Ferrari was looking good in the middle stretch, but it just wasn't enough, and Mercedes won both that year. And in 2020, their most dominant car, back in black, with I believe 14 out of 17 wins in 2020. Then in 2021, they won the Constructors again with the W12, but didn't win the Drivers, and we'll get to why they didn't win the Drivers' Championship later. But now in 2023, well, Mercedes find themselves 51 seconds behind the leading Red Bull, with Lewis Hamilton and George Russell claiming that Red Bull had the championship sewn up and Mercedes can't do anything unless they change the car. That's going to take a lot to do. So how did a team like Mercedes and so many great engineers mess up? Well, let's go to the root cause. It all starts in Abu Dhabi of 2021. Lewis Hamilton is leading by a big 12-second margin over Max Verstappen with 5 laps to go. Looks like he's got the championship sewn up until Nicholas Latifi crashes, setting up a one-lap shootout. Lewis and Max side by side. Max pitted for fresh tires, and it's going to be pretty much a slam-dunk overtake. And what do you know? He makes the overtake at turn 5, looking to have his championship sewn up. Lewis fights back into turn 9, but it's not enough. Max Verstappen would come to the finish line to win his first ever Formula One World Championship in a heartbreaking loss. Mercedes eventually protested but lost it. Then, next year, they went back to silver, hoping with their zero-pod design that they would be at the top still, but no. The car was hampered by extreme bouncing, with Lewis Hamilton's seat even going cold during a race because his back was so numb. Eventually, Mercedes got their you-know-what together, and George Russell won a race at Brazil, but by that time, Red Bull was long gone in the standings. Then we're here in 2023. They produce a really good-looking car, pretty much the same thing as last year, but it's just slow. And it's mind-boggling. Mercedes, 4th best team, hard to think about. You got all these guys. You got Allison, Elliott, Wolff, Hamilton, Russell, so many guys at that team. One of the most decorated teams in Formula One history, only behind Ferrari, arguably, and they can't figure it out. It's just mind-boggling. They figured out the regulations, twice? They aced them 2 times, and now they just can't figure it out. Comment below.